Hey guys, Damashi here. This is going to be post-commentary. I wanted to do a live commentary, but I literally just couldn't. This fight's way too difficult. So let's talk about Yuna. I took off two of her passives. The one that gives her cheer high turn rate, and I don't remember what the other one is, but I needed to take those off, because otherwise Yuna was just taking way too many turns. You need to have Kefka and Edward to have not perfect darts, but really good ones, and some decent spears. You don't have to, although Yuna's spears matter more, because you need to beef up Yuna as much as possible to make this team work. And you need everyone to have a bunch of Max Brave, because this team relies on Max Brave stacking. Normally, if Yuna starts first, that's pretty much a dead run, but I made it work. If Yuna does start first, you want to start with cheer, because if you start with her brave attack, you will get nothing. Also, it's a good opportunity. Not only is it a good opportunity to use cheer, because her brave attack is worthless turn 1, using skills will get her EX charged faster, and you're going to need her EX charged to to get her EX buff back on for when they use their recast ability, which is Mistbind. And for those who don't know what Mistbind does, it's a more dangerous version of Virus. Virus prevents you from putting buffs on. Mistbind does that, and also prevents you from recovering Brave through battery. So you can't and before they inflict you with Mistbind, they dispel all your buffs. So you can't bring Ignis, you can't bring Lena, you can't bring Aphmau, and expect to just waltz all over this fight's recast. You gotta bring an Esuna character like Yuna, Cyan, Balthier, Yuffie, and I think that's all the current Esuna characters. We won't get another until Theodore and Mog, which is quite a ways away. By the way, this challenge quest was a nightmare to do as well, but I'm very happy that I did it, because it taught me a lot of things in prep for this encounter. So, there are two things about this fight that are really scary. The mist, the recast, and the fog that they get at below 80%, below 50%, and below 30%. And what that fog does, if they are single targeting a target, and if they are single targeting a character, and the fog is up, they are going to battery themselves, and then do a pretty hard-hitting Brave HP attack that is probably going to kill someone that doesn't have Last Stand. If they are targeting all, they will do a battery into Brave HP attack, battery into AoE Brave AoE HP attack that does split damage, which are way more likely to live, which is how I got through the challenge quest, was by making sure they were always doing an all attack when they were using that. The important thing to note is that when they are and the other thing that they do when the fog is up, is that I just did it here, is that they cleanse themselves of all debuffs when they do a single target or AoE target attack while the mist is up. With one exception, and that is when they are doing their recast. So when they're doing the way I got through this fight is by ensuring that they were doing their recast while the fog was up, so they wouldn't cleanse my debuffs. And you also want to keep them close together when you wanted them to do recast back to back, so that Yuna can just do one Esuna, and then you're cleansed, and then you're good. You also want to make sure that Edward is at 5 stacks, not 5 stacks, Edward's debuff is at 3 stacks before they initiate their recast ability. Because again, it's a very, very scary Brave HP attack that they battery before they do it. So if that debuff's at max stacks, they can't gain battery. And it has a very potent attack down, which when stacked with Kefka's attack down, which is 90%, they just do 1 Brave damage. So right around here is where I summon. I'm pretty sure. I believe... no, it's not around here, because I believe I get... Yep, I got the recast up just in time to get another one. Need another one in, so I didn't need to do the recast. And you also want to use... I can't remember what I was about to say. You want to use your Etsunas to, instead of using Cheer, you want to use Etsuna to get the higher turn rate so that Yuna will be either right behind them after they do their recast, or right behind a character after they do their recast. Because if Yuna's in the back, is the last of the 3 to go. That's essentially 3 wasted turns where you're not doing much of anything. If Meteor Plus is up, you want to do it. If Meteor Plus is up and Kefka's at max Brave, you want to do that over a Light of Judgment or Trine because it'll do more damage. Because it's splash damage. After the 50% mist is when I believe I summon Lightning and just have her burst them down as much as I can to get them into the below 30% mark range. I can't remember after how many attacks they start to use Woodhorn. So, but Woodhorn, what it does is it does a massive, massive delay. And if anyone gets delayed, you want it to be Yuna. But if you can avoid the delay altogether with Kefka's Blind or Edward's Hide, that's ideal. Alright, so I use the summon here to fix the break order to make sure that Yuna's turn would be relatively soon, outside of summon, and to ensure that I got them down to the 49% mark while the mist was up and they were about to do their recast, so that they wouldn't cleanse my buffs, they'd use Mistbind, they wouldn't cleanse my buffs, and then Yuna would get a return. And I believe I use Etsuna, and this is the other reason I took off that passive. Had I not taken off those passives, Yuna would have jumped probably around either right after Kefka or right between A and B, which would have ruined this run. So now I can just Etsuna, and then I can hide and get Bard Song's buffs back on. And now it's time for Lightning to just do her thing. Another thing I learned over my many retries is you don't want to break with this attack. Because if you break with this attack, because when Lightning comes onto the field, she has a free turn by default. But if you proc the consecutive turn passive that she has, then you'll use the consecutive turn then you'll get a consecutive turn instead of taking advantage of her free turn. So now it's just a matter of bursting them down to get them as close as the 29% mark as I can. I believe I have all of my hyperdrives left at this point as well, which we'll be spamming during the last phase of this after Kefka uses his burst for consistent 200k damage every hyperdrive recast, and I believe close to 300k damage with Havoc Wing. We also need to save sleeps for this point, because sleep is scary. We need to save sleeps for just this point in time. We need to make sure that they were both about to... We needed them both to be in fog, and we needed to sleep them, because when you sleep them, it gets rid of the fog. And then they'll take their turns, and then I can go into Kefka's burst. But I don't do it right away because I want them to be a little bit lower. And I also wanted Kefka to be buffed up. Again, you want them to go back to back, and you want to stagger your sleeps. Also, don't get greedy over my mini... Oh, that's another thing I want to point out. You want to use Meteor Plus before you use Trine, because you battery yourself. There's so many people... It annoys me every time I see someone use... I can't remember the name of the skill. Use Trine before Meteor... before Meteor Plus, or say Meteor Plus for last. If you do that, you're losing out on damage. Don't do that. Kefka's burst has a pretty high burst attack itself has a pretty high damage potency. You are going to hit the cap on it. And if you're not hitting the cap on it, you probably shouldn't be bringing Kefka in the first place. See, it's important to stagger the bursts. The sleeps, is what I meant to say. If you don't, you're going to be in trouble. So they're about to do their recast. But it's fine, because there are no more fogs at this point, and we can just keep sleeping them. I would have, part of me wanted to do that, but again, we still need to stagger. We need to stagger sleeps, and this is what was a really good launch opportunity, especially a launch with a character that's about to do battery. Oh wait, no, I used the launch with someone else. I believe the launch comes a bit later. I don't remember when. Okay, so I have died at this exact moment many times. Don't get greedy with your sleeps. Don't get greedy. Use your sleep. If I had done Edward's EX, I can guarantee you that would have been a dead run. I've seen it happen so many times at this point. Alright, until next time, guys, I'll also be linking the video that was the inspiration for this run in the description. So until next time, for Sephiroth Lufenia. I'll probably be doing that post-commentary too. Later.